Hi, I'm Andrew Jenkinson and welcome to the Caravan Industry channel. Hi, and welcome to another little video. Now, this is only a short video. I don't know if you remember, some while ago I may have mentioned Practical Caravan, which of course I've been writing for since 1996, so it's a long time anyway. He says, we've got a very brief history lesson. How did Practical Caravan start? Well, Practical Caravan started around in 1967, and it came out from a Caravan magazine called this, Caravan Life. Now, Caravan Life, some of you will remember a magazine called Caravan Life, which was printed by Warner's, and that's absolutely correct. In fact, I remember seeing that the editor then, Eric Fowler, God bless him, he's now no longer with us, but he was a really decent guy, and him and Stuart Craig got me up and running on this career. And basically, that magazine was run by Sangler Publications and then taken over by Warner's. But this one was a magazine called Caravan Life, which was out before that one, and this was published in Manchester. And what it was designed to do was, because don't forget, no internet and all that type of thing, but what it was designed to do, it was designed to cater for people north of the Midlands. So, although it would sort of mention people down in the south of the country, it was more northern based. And this magazine came out in the late 50s. It was a small, almost like an A5 magazine, and it prospered, and it grew and it grew, and it became a really good magazine. Now, I've got quite a lot of copies of this. I managed to track some down over the years, but it's got some really good stuff in it. I mean, back then, there was a hell of a lot going on in the industry. I mean, a lot going on. It was a job keeping up with it, you know. It's when you could have done with the internet then. But, you know, I sort of just like some of the old adverts in, such as, you know, this for the Bluebird Big Sea range, because it covered statics, it covered motorhomes, it covered caravans as well. You know, the lady dressed up as a cowboy there with the 6 shooters. And of course, that cover, you couldn't get away with that cover today, at this day and age. And what did that have to do with caravanning? Well, it was saying, brr, get yourself out of hibernation, because it was February issue, and it was telling you it was getting ready for the season, because don't forget, people didn't use the caravans. Sites were shut. So it was sort of a wake-up call. Come on, everybody, start getting the caravans dusted down, and off you go, and for your first trips out. But it was a great, it was all in black and white, of course, but it showed you all sorts of things. They were very, very, very informative. As I say, they covered the holiday home market as well, and yeah, we've got a test here on a Bailey Mikado T from 1967 with a Triumph 2000 tow in it. I think that's the Mark 1. They were like the tow car to have at the time. So yes, you got your caravan test reviews. Again, it was to say, it was all in black and white. And there we go. Follow the sun. I love that advert. Follow the sun in a Bailey touring caravans for enthusiasts who demand the best. You can see it there on the camera. This magazine was then approached by the Haymarket Group, who bought it in May 1967, and what they decided to do was to change the name, and they changed it to Practical Caravan. Now, Caravan Life was 2 shillings and 6 pence, which equates to 12.5p in today's modern terms. And even in 1969, 2 years later, the magazine still cost the same. It hadn't gone up, because in those days things didn't. It wasn't until the early 70s that things started to go up. The oil crisis, 3-day wait, all that sort of thing. Sort of things we're experiencing now. But this, by that time, they'd altered the format of the magazine, and over the years they would do. This one's Guard Against Winter, which this is the November issue, 1969. So basically, it's telling you what to do to put your caravan into hibernation. So clean it up, all that sort of thing. And the thing is telling you about your suspension, how it works. And actually, interestingly, that suspension system there is the Caravans International group, who did Sprite, Eccles, Fairhome, Bluebird. It was their own design, and they used that design right up until I think it was around about 79, 80. And it was designed by them, and they manufactured it. But there's loads of things, adding ventilation, additional ventilation in your caravan. Look at the guys there who's going to drill a hole through his roof. You wouldn't do those sort of things these days. But it was a great informative magazine, and it sold really, really well. Look at this. This is telling you the preview of the 1970 caravans. It's a Sprite New World. These are the brand new looking Sprites, redesigned. And everybody thought, and as a kid I remember thinking, those look really, really smart. I couldn't wait to get the magazine, because we started getting this magazine probably about in the early 70s. My father's friend used to get it, and then he'd give it on to us, then we eventually started buying it ourselves. But it's got all these things, loads of things, all about the new models, testing. Brilliant. So it moved on from there up until the 1970s. Now I'm not going to go through decade to decade, because we'll be forever amen. But you get the gist of it. By this time, the magazine had grown, and now it had gone up to 3 shillings, which was 15p. So it had gone up 6pence in all money, so 2.5p. So in 3 years, it'd gone up 2.5p. But look at the size of the magazine. It's got here things about caravan buying, van painting made easy. Yes, because people still put a brush to the caravan and painted them. Touring Worcestershire. Special show issue, guide to 71 models. So again, really fun. Again, lots of different manufacturers around at that time. So a lot of them are long since gone, sadly. But lots of different manufacturers. As a kid, I can remember getting the magazine when it was the new models. I'd be there, glued to it, looking to see what was going to be coming out for the following year. And then my dad would look at it, and we'd just say, oh, you know, what do you think of them? Oh, I can't wait to go and look at them as soon as they arrive at the dealers, that type of thing. But it was a really, I mean, these are all, again, they still kept covering the static caravan, holiday caravan market, as well as the motown market as well. But lots of stuff, and yeah, I like that front cover. I quite like the front cover. It's quite good, isn't it? In the 80s, the magazine pretty much stayed the same format. It went very, very thin at one time. It did in the early 70s because, of course, the paper shortage. In 74, 3-day weeks were mentioned, all that type of thing. It really hit everybody very, very hard. But by the 80s and 90s, Practical Caravan was selling very, very well. It became the magazine to have. And as I say, I started writing for it in 1996. I think my first thing I did was a review on a Van Master caravan. And I then started doing news stuff then. So I suppose I've been doing news stuff a long time, haven't I? But consequently, the magazine went through various stages, and of course lots of editors, because I mean the editor on this one, I'm just interested actually. I mean the chief editor now is the lovely Sarah, who's group editor, and she looks after Practical Motorhome as well. The editor then was Harry Hill. I don't think it's the same one, obviously, but that's what his name was, Harry Hill. I think this was still Harry Hill maybe when it was Caravan Life. And No, it was Len Koloff who was the, who was editor then. But as the times went on, they got some more. They got some lady editors in, and editors come and go and what have you as they move on until in about 2017, I think it was, just off the top of my head. Haymarket Group had a bit of reorganisation, and they sold the publication Practical Caravan, Practical Motorhome off to the Future Group, who have since moved the magazine on again further. So we're now still Practical Caravan, still the bestseller, but that's where it originates from. It originates from Caravan Life, and we've got all the type of stuff in there still. There's even a chap in there called Jenkinson who does a used buy look, which I've been doing a long time, and I love doing it. I really do. So, 55 years old. Happy birthday to Practical Caravan. Happy birthday to all the people who contribute to that magazine, and also to people who put that magazine together. Because putting magazines together is no easy task. And I know the editor, the test editor, which is Peter Baber, he's been in the industry since about 1993, 94. He started off with Practical, left, come back, and all this sort of thing, as people do, and he does a fantastic job. And along with Sarah Wakely, who's the group editor, and it's just a magazine that people do love to have, and subscribe to it. Honestly, you get some good deals on the subscription. Subscribe to it. I've been a subscriber. Yes, I've been a subscriber since I think 1995. I'd subscribed. Yeah. So, Practical Caravan, 55 years in the making, and all from these original issues. I've got hundreds of copies of all the years and everything. But just shows you how that magazine has progressed, and doing covers like that, you know, you couldn't get away with it in this day and age at all. But there you go. And just on one last thing, I'll show you this as well. This is obviously a model caravan with a Triumph, I think it's the Herald, towing it. Now that caravan was the caravan used, you can just see him there, Tintin and Snowy the dog. You might not be able to see him right on the camera, but years ago, 21 years ago, Tintin was all relaunched, and I think the company was taken over. The rights were taken over by somebody, and anyway, they decided they wanted to do marketing again, and they got on to me and asked what caravan that was used in one of the stories, and they sent me some pictures, and I came up and I said yes, it was Eccles GT. I think it was a 305 at the time, or 304, and they said, great, have you got any pictures? So I said yeah. They said, because we want to make a model of it with the car towing it. And I said, fantastic, that's great. They said, what we'll do is we'll put your name on there and we'll give you some royalties. So of course, for 12 months I worked away, got them all the information they needed. It came out, I didn't get a penny. Story of my life. But the satisfaction was, and I didn't get any mention, but the satisfaction was it was made and done, and I actually had to buy that myself because these are quite hard to get hold of now, so they become quite collectible. So yes, so that was, I think it was about 2000, that's 22 years ago near enough. Yeah, so that's my little bit of claim to fame there. As I say, although it never did, I never got anything out of it apart from, yeah, anyway, that's how it goes, as I say. But yeah, but anyway, Practical Caravan. There you go, 50 years, and I have enjoyed all the years I've been writing for you, and may it go on. But happy birthday to all the team. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you like them. Please don't forget to press the thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Bye for now.